puts a lot of strain on the shoulder and creates a great possibility for shoulder impingement.
What's up? 筋肉翻訳です。さあ今日はよく見るのに正しいやり方が知られていないケトルベルスイング見ていきましょう。ケトルベルスイング見たことありますか？こんな種目です。実はこの種目にはアメリカンケトルベルスイングとロシアンケトルベルスイングの2種目があります。今回はトレーニングとして効率的なケトルベルスイングをクリスチャンさんが教えてくれています。何が正しいのでしょうか？後半では動作のイメージを紹介しているので最後まで見ていってください。どうぞ。
One thing that I'm personally against, I'm not saying it's worthless, and I'm not going to make any friends here in the CrossFit community, which I have many friends in. It's the kettlebell, American kettlebell swing. The real kettlebell swing is simply an explosive, loaded hip hinge. Just like in a Romanian deadlift, the purpose is not to see how far down you go, it's just loading that hip hinge pattern. Kettlebell swing should be the same. If you look at kettlebell swing experts, many of them actually they never bring the kettlebell higher up than this, and sometimes it's here, because they understand that it's not the height the kettlebell travels that's important. It's the power produced by the hips, the hip hinge. Now, in CrossFit, when they use kettlebell swings, they kind of denature the movement, making it, instead of a deficient hip hinge movement, they turn it into a distance movement. And the reason is really simple. CrossFit being a competition, and not only like the actual competition events, the WODs themselves, at least when CrossFit first started out, was every WOD is a competition. You have the whiteboard where you put your score on. So you needed a way to be able to establish whether someone actually did a rep that counted. Because you can, if I'm okay, kettlebell swing, well, I'm doing here. Of course, you're going to have a very fast time. So they needed a way to standardize the movement so that it can be measurable. And that they invented the American kettlebell swing, in which you have to have the head go through the arms at the top. So that way you can measure and standardize a rep. The problem is, again, it denatures the kibi swing, because even if you have a very powerful hip hinge, unless you're using like 8 or 12 kilos, you're not going to get the kettlebells that high without using the shoulders to get it up. And then you have to bring it back down using a different pattern. So it puts a lot of strain on the shoulder and creates a great possibility for shoulder impingement. So I understand the need to do it for CrossFit, because in competition they need to be able to measure if a rep is a rep. If they only say, for example, well, the kettlebell has to reach shoulder height, well, they could swing here and then bring back down here, cheating the movement. You can always find ways to cheat a movement. But if, say, well, the legs have to be locked out and the head has to go through the window, then it's easy to measure. But as a training tool, especially when you do high reps, it's one of the worst things you can do for shoulder health. My wife injured her shoulder doing American kettlebell swings, so she only does the traditional Russian kibi swings nowadays. Anyway, the benefit is not from the distance travel. The benefit is from the actual loading of the hip hinge. So the American kibi swing is something you should absolutely avoid unless it is for competition purposes.
さあ、いかがでしたでしょうか？アメリカンケトルベルスイングは競技のための種目。トレーニングに使うのであれば、ロシアンケトルベルスイングがおすすめ。とのことでした。この2つの違いですが、アメリカンケトルベルスイングは肩を上まで上げる種目。ロシアンケトルベルスイングは股関節の爆発力を使うだけの種目なので、動きがこうなります。上に上げるための力を入れる必要がないので、股関節の爆発力を使うことだけに集中できますね。ぜひ試してみてください。みんなはケトルベルスイング行ったことはありますか？コメント欄で教えてください。僕は今回初めて行いましたが、ジャンプするのに負荷をかけているのより安全に行える種目と感じました。最後まで見ていただいてありがとうございます。セカンドチャンネルのオカザーマンチャンネルでは海外の様子をお届けしています。概要欄のリンクから見てみてください。 ではまた。
I won't look back when you're around. I won't think twice when you're gone.